welcome back to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Steve Swat. My guest this segment is Paul Mitchell, who is president of an organization called Redistricting Partners. Thanks very much for being with us. And
happy to be here.
And you deal with redistricting, obviously reapportionment, which is a once in 10-year event in California, and it has changed now, and there's a sort of a brave new world, whereas legislators aren't drawing the district boundaries anymore. The voters didn't like that, and so now we have an independent commission. So that's got to really change the landscape, doesn't it?
Yeah, 10 years ago, this was a private process done behind closed doors, and voters obviously have rejected that repeatedly. And this public process, this commission, it's modeled after commissions that have been done in other states and also some commissions that have been done locally. Even here in California, like San Diego has a commission process. Mm-hmm. It's a cleaner, more free of the political influences way of drawing lines. And it tries to, the commission I think should be praised already for working to do something that is inherent in redistricting aside from the political work. And that is bringing people closer to their government. And that's the idea with redistricting, is that you have a state that's changed significantly, huge growth where some congressional districts are 200,000 people over the right number to be a congressional district. Other congressional districts are, they're too small. So redistricting tries to sort all that out, make sure that districts are of equal size, that one person, one vote, and the process should be done without the political influences.
Now, before, when legislators drew the boundaries, primarily they were doing it on their own, with very little. There were some perfunctory hearings at the Capitol, I assume, but they primarily did it, and they drew the boundaries to help certain legislators, probably, and maybe hurt some others. Now, is there more of a public process where you have more of the community constituency involved, at least in the process?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of involvement from the public. It's also changing the environment. Before, it was about connections with the speaker, the pro tem. It was about political relationships. There were a lot of other things coming into play. All of those were removed. The commission doesn't even know where legislators live. By law, they cannot consider where legislators live. By law, they cannot draw districts to advantage or hurt a political party. The whole language around redistricting is changing because of this. And what I believe is going to happen is that this commission is going to be encouraging a process where real communities matter, where data showing where the Latinos are, the African Americans are, the Asians are, really matters more so than it has in the process before.
It's interesting because if you look at the change in the population and demographics in California over the last 10 years, there seems to be some less growth, certainly along the coast, pretty heavy growth inland, which is generally considered Republican territory, Central Valley, Inland Empire, but so much of that growth is growth of the Latino population, which tends to be Democratic.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you stood back and said, okay, there's all this growth in the Inland Empire and looked, and there's a lot of Republican legislators from the Inland Empire, you would think, okay, that means more Republicans. Right. But that's not necessarily true. A lot of the influx in the Inland Empire has been people coming from LA. A lot of the influx in the Central Valley and Sacramento area is people coming from the Bay Area. So when they come into the Central Valley or the Inland Empire, they don't change their political stripes. What they do is they change the community that they're now living in. So I think you're going to see districts in the Inland Empire that have previously been kind of Republican safe areas. When you draw those districts with more regular shapes, absent the political considerations, you're going to have more bipartisan kind of elections, closer, better seats.
All right. Well, we're out of time, but it's a fascinating discussion. We're going to have to watch it all the way through the next, between now and the next election in 2012. But Paul Mitchell, thanks for coming in and giving us a little primer on it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Comcast Newsmakers. We'll see you next time.